Welcome to Today at Keeneland for the final day of the meet. It is closing day for the spring meeting in 2021, Friday, April 23rd. Scott Hazelton, Gabby Gaudette back with you once again for a final time before we wrap it up and focus our attention on the Keeneland April sale, which will take place on Monday beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern time, Gabby. And then we'll have that gap before we're back here in no time for the fall meeting.
Yeah, hopefully it goes by fast. We always love to be right here at Keeneland. A little bittersweet that it is closing day, but it's a great racing card on tap. And Scott, we've had such a fun meeting. I kind of mentioned this yesterday, but it was really cool to see some of those 3-year-olds, especially Essential Quality and Malafat, perform here. Of course, some of the older horses as well. Through and through, it's just been a fantastic meet, and so happy to see fans back to a limited capacity.
Let's hope we'll have more in the fall if we keep in the direction that we're going through this pandemic. Let's keep our fingers crossed. All right, let's take a look back at yesterday's card. We had 9 races, and Daddy is a legend off the 7-month layoff. The question, would she be the same? And she answered that question. So congratulations to the Connections led by George Weaver for getting her back in good order. Vicky Oliver, G. Watts, Humphrey Jr., they had a nice day. They had picked up a couple wins, and another 2-win day for trainer Wesley Ward as he was able to pick up 2 more 2-year-old wins, and he has wrapped up the trainer's title along with Luis Saez, who has for some days now. So congratulations to them. And Juddmonte Farm right now is at the top of the owner standings, Gabby. There's a chance that Calumet could catch them. They're going to have a big day, but Juddmonte's sitting in a good spot to be leading owner.
Yeah, it's been such a great meet for all the Connections there. Wesley Ward, I mean, we talked about it in the beginning of the meet. He didn't start off so hot with his 2-year-olds. That really heated up towards the latter half of the meet, but he was winning everything. Stakes races, allowance races, everywhere in between, those claiming races. So really built that tally, as well as Luis Saez, who has just had such a consistent meet.
Before we dive into the 10-race card, let's go to WKYT for this afternoon's weather.
And while earlier in the day we started off in the 30s, you'll need to bring your coat. But you won't need it all day at Keeneland, as we'll start to see a mix of cloud and sun. But mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will increase into the 50s, and we could even see the low 60s by about 5 o'clock on this last day of Keeneland. Things are going to be okay. It'd be a lot nicer if we see more sunshine. They were a little bit warmer, but overall, I think for the last day, this is a pretty good forecast. I'm meteorologist Sally Blake here with WKYT, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks to WKYT for always being a great partner here on Today at Keeneland and giving us a forecast each and every race day, and we thank them for that. All right, let's move on to our picks for the entire card. This is presented by TVG. Madame Gaudette.
I didn't look at this beforehand, and you know I'm a little dyslexic with numbers, but we do agree in the first race and the second race.
First, second.
And the 6th and the 7th and the last.
And the last race.
This might be the most we've agreed on in a day today. Is that good or bad?
It's only 11:34, so you'll find something to yell at me about between now and noon. I'm sure of that, or at least past noon. And the late pick 4 is a great sequence. They've done a great job lining these last 4 races up. I think you can say the same about the late pick 5. Today is a day to take swings in these multi-race exotics. We'll be, of course, diving into that a little bit later on in the program here. But don't forget to download the Keeneland Race Day app if you don't have it on your iPhone, your Android phone, or your iPad or tablet. It is the best way to access those picks each and every day here at Keeneland. And give us a follow on social media at Keeneland Racing. Also give them a follow at Keeneland Sales for the upcoming April sale on Twitter, at Keeneland on Facebook, at Keeneland on Instagram, and the Watch TVG app. It's available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV. It's the best way to watch both TVG and TVG2 and the Racebook if you haven't checked that out, and a host of other opportunities to look at things like the Road to the Derby. That is the new feature that has been rolled out here in the recent days to get yourself ready for the first Saturday in May for those big contenders, looking back at replays of particular races and things like that. It's all on the Watch TVG app. Again, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV. Download it right now. I promise you that's how you'll be watching both of those networks each and every day. The featured event, we round out the meet with the Grade 3 Bewitch Stakes. These are fillies and mares 4 and up. They'll be traveling 1.5 miles on the turf course. Gun Society is a scratch in here. It's Warlike Goddess, who is the 7-2 morning line favorite.
It's pretty remarkable what she's been able to do in her 4-race career. She's a 3-time winner, now a graded stakes winner, winner of the Grade 3 Orchid last time out. And why I say that it's remarkable is because of her running style, Scott. She kind of makes this last to first move, and you don't really see that type of move be successful at long distances on the turf course, but she's just been simply outclassing the fields that she's been running against.
I'm going to take a swing against her and go to the number 7 horse, Dalika, for trainer Alstall Jr. The favorite is legit, but she comes from so far back. And this mare, Dalika, will have the jump on her if she gets the sort of trips that she's been able to carve out recently. She was not very good, not very effective in her last race, the Tom Benson Memorial, which was taken by Summer in Saratoga, and we didn't get a fair shake, and neither did she or the connections to see how she was going to do in that allowance race, the feature yesterday, because she stumbled away from the gate, lost Corey Lannery, and that was it for her. So you can't lean on that
But
form.
Winter Sunset ran well, who finished
did.
6th in there, so it still might be a productive race.
She set the pace. She did run all right. But let's go back to her win, her most recent victory in the Alstall Memorial on February 13th at Fairgrounds. And she sat right second, and then she's able to kick on by a length with Miguel Mena. Mena's been riding her in all of her recent successes, and the fact that she has progressed with this kind of early position that she has had in these longer races, as she started off and even recently was sprinting in stakes races to nice horses up in Saratoga and at Belmont Park. But Alstall Jr., now I'm not 100% sure that she would have been eligible for that allowance race yesterday, Gabby, but if she was, I'm sure they would have toyed with it. It was one of those allowance conditions that was written almost to let just about anybody be eligible for that. But that would have been an option, or maybe waiting for another short race for her. But I think that Alstall must just obviously feel that she can get this distance, and she's got European pedigree. She's a German-bred mare. She's by Pistorius out of a Hurricane Run mare. That is distance well beyond a mile. So she's got the pedigree to handle this. She's won and then lost. She's got this pattern, and she's sitting on a win if she can hold that pattern up here today. So I like Dalika for Alstall, Miguel Mena, and Balmar Equine. The second choice is the 8-horse Warlike Goddess. How can you knock this mare? She comes running every time late. She'll be well back with Julien Leperoux. And then the number 3 horse, 3 Flamingos for Cherie DeVaux. We were at the fairgrounds that day. Cherie had 2 in that race. She thought the other one would run a little bit better because she thought that 3 Flamingos was going to need that race, and she wins by 2 lengths. So that is a very positive sign for her. Look at her as a long shot, and also another long shot in here to consider is Past the Plate. She comes out of those same races that Dalika does, and she's run some big speed figures. So she is a live long shot in here if she can get the right setup and kick on home. So this is a very good race. You're going to want all kinds of coverage, in my opinion, when playing the late pick 4 in today's Bewitch Stakes.
I'm surprised you didn't use my top pick, considering how much you liked Summer in Saratoga yesterday and how tough the Tom Benson Memorial Stakes was, because I did go to the 4 Dominga for trainer Brad Cox, who I thought ran really, really well last time out. We'll show you that race going back to the Tom Benson Memorial, and this was her first race off of several months on the shelf. Her race prior to was at Indiana Grand in August, where she finished 4th. And she just looks like a filly that continues to improve. She could be sitting on a big year this year as a 4-year-old, because she did continually improve as a 3-year-old last year. And I also think the way she runs, it looks like she should be fine with more distance. She should probably just be able to sit right off the pace. But this was a hard trying effort towards the inside. We saw Summer in Saratoga. She kind of closed from off of the pace, whereas this filly, I should say, was really in the thick of it in the early stages of the race. So I don't have a problem with her getting out of distance for trainer Brad Cox. So she'll be the top pick. We also have the number 8 Warlike Goddess mentioned, her ability to just close from off the pace. And her only loss was in the Grade 3, the very one, and it was a very slow pace. If you go back and watch the race, Antoinette went on the front end, went gate to wire, Belle Laura, Sister Hanan, all 3 of those horses were forwardly placed. So I thought she, set herself up for a loss from the standpoint of the pace. And she should be able to get more pace in here today. So I do respect her. And then the 6 California Queen, also compromised by that slow pace last time out. And look at her European form, Scott. I mean, she's running in Group 1s, Group 2s at Longchamp. So I really do think that this is a filly that has a lot of talent. She was a little disappointing in her North American debut, but it's Chad Brown, and she gets more pace today, so she's a threat.
I mean, every one of these horses is a threat, right? I mean, that's why you have to have all kinds of coverage in the late pick 4 and the late pick 5. And, you know, what's the favorite going to go off at in this race? 3-1 maybe in
Probably.
the Bewitch? It's that good of a race on closing day. The inside mare, Cambaliza, she's tough to figure in here. She comes off of a 3-month layoff. Maybe that will, you know, do her some good. But, you know, these are very good mares that are going to be going 1.5 miles today in the featured 9th Bewitch Stakes. Let's find out more about the feature. Let's go to Tom Leach.
Brad Cox is going to saddle Dominga in the Grade 3 Bewitched. Nice 4-year-old debut, narrowly beaten down in New Orleans. Tell me about that race.
She ran really well. We trained her at Palm Meadows and shipped her up right before the race, or shipped her over to the fairgrounds right before the race. And she ran a great race, showed a little more speed than she had been as a 3-year-old. And we're going to do something with her that we've always wanted to, is around 3 turns. We've always thought she was bred to do it, and now we're going to get the opportunity as a 4-year-old.
She made a significant move up on the buyer scale from 3 to 4. Did you see similar movement in Thoroughbred?
Yeah, she definitely moved forward. It was a lifetime best as an older horse, and hopefully, you know, she can take another jump forward Friday.
Ideally, how would you, with the 3 turns, how would you like the race to unfold if you could script it?
I'd like to see her up close. She was up close last time going a mile and the 16th. We didn't really know what she would do off the layoff. I really liked the last race, and I think with more ground, it gives her even more opportunity to show more speed. And, you know, I've always thought, like, once again, I've always thought she was a filly that would like 3 turns, and, you know, they kind of have to be 4 to get that opportunity. So we're excited about this, you know, giving her the chance.
All right, great stuff as always from Tom Leach, Brad Cox there talking about the featured Bewitch Stakes. But time now to jump into our key races of the afternoon, races that Gabby and I want to focus our attention on. And I'm going to kick things off early in the card with race number 3. And I thought we were going to get a chance to see Mr. Annoying run. But this is I think the second time.
This horse keeps scratching.
3rd time this meet that he scratched. He was my top selection.
And I think he might have even scratched at Gulfstream, too. It might be 4 races in a row this horse has scratched out of.
So that changes things for me again on this meet, because I'm pretty sure I picked him each, 3 times that he scratched. So anyways, he's out. So I now end up with the number 7 horse as my top selection after 5 for Wesley Ward. Not a bad spot to scratch into. Son of the Factor, blinkers come off. This is a colt. We're not going to have any video to show back to you, but if you look at his form, he was second on debut at Kentucky Downs at 6.5 furlongs, then second in the Grade 3 Futurity Stakes at Belmont, and they thought enough of those 2 races to run him as a maiden in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, which was taken by Golden Pal and Cowan, who's run some giant races at the age of 3, including a runner-up finish in the Saudi Derby on dirt for Asmussen, and then they opted to run him on the turf in the Al-Quaz Sprint on Dubai World Cup night. But he's going to be the favorite. Blinkers off, gets LASIX for the first time. Wesley Ward, that's all you need to know. Like we said, Wesley could have run this horse yesterday and they'd be live today, or it could have been 2 years ago the last time we saw this and they'd be live today. Don't worry about the layoff. Wesley has him going. Every one of his horses going good. So after 5 is the top play. Then to the number 10 horse, Modesto, another Wesley Ward runner, debuted at Saratoga, 9-month layoff, drew the rail on that debut, gets off the rail, all positive signs. He's got Johnny V and Joel. Those are the go-to guys for him this meet. So Joel's on Modesto, and then the number 5 horse, Wild for Wycliffe, trying the dirt. The son of Danza, who's by Street Boss. Street Boss is one of these stallions that you can get turf and dirt runners. I don't know that I've seen many Danzas run on turf, but here's a surface switch. Comes out of that 2-lane Trist race, which is a nice runner for Cherie DeVoe. I like Wild for Wycliffe underneath the 2 Wesley Ward runners in race number 3.
I'm going to take us 1 race ahead, and that's race number 4. And this is a starter allowance event, 6 furlongs on the main track. Unfortunately, have 1 scratch of the number 5, Hollywood Gina, who I figured would be over bet. And here, I think it really completely changes this race. It's very unfortunate when you have a favorite that you don't like and you'll get value on other horses and it scratches, and that's the case with the 5 Hollywood Gina.
That's your annoying situation for the day.
That's my annoying situation for the day. So the 2 Sweet Spin is the top pick. I still think you'll be able to get a decent price on her. We'll show you her race 2 starts back. This was at Turfway coming in off of freshening, when the Connections and Phil Simms decided to step her up in class. She had just broken her maiden for maiden 30,000, and then they threw her pretty much into the deep end, Scott. This was an A other than, and it came up actually a pretty good field. She was 11-1 in there. She closed from off of the pace. She winds up finishing third in this event, just beaten a little over a length for it. And then she came back against the same allowance competition, and she did not run as well. But I just don't think that she is that caliber. However, when you compare her 2 races versus what she was running in her first 2 races, I know even her maiden win, but they're significantly faster. So I just think that this is a filly that's starting to improve at the right time, and coming back to the dirt, I don't think should be any bit of an issue. She has class at this level. It ultimately just depends on what you're running against, and I do think that she found herself a really good spot against Starter Allowance Company today. The one Sweet Queen B is another one for Phil Simms. She might have just wanted the dirt all along, because she pulled off the upset last time out at 7-1. She won by 2 lengths against maiden $30,000 types. A good spot to run her back against winners today. She has to show a little bit more speed from the rail. And then the 4 Signify for Rudy Brisset. She might even be the fastest of all. I just don't think... I don't know. I'm a little bit against her as well. So I'll try to beat the 4, who might even be the favorite with the 2 and the 1.
I'm going to go to race number 7 for my next key race. At race number 7, 2 other than allowance race, 1 mile and 3/16 on the turf. Ocean Atlantique is the morning line favorite at 2-1. Second time that she'll be running this meet. Not an easy race, though. Baker's Bay comes back for a second time this meet for Shug. I go to the number 7 horse, Conviction Trade, who's 4-1 on the morning line, and give her a pass for her last race at the fairgrounds, because she broke badly. And this is a filly that doesn't like to, or doesn't like to break badly or like to be as far back as he was in there. Let's go back to the J.B. Conley, the Grade 3 event at the end of January this year at Sam Houston, where he set the pace. He's out on the front end. There he is. He's eventually going to be run down by the favorite, I believe the favorite, if not one of the favorites, Spooky Channel, in this event. And this is going 1.5 miles. So cuts it back a little bit as far as the distance. If he breaks sharp, he'll be good. I mean, this is a horse who is a stayer. That's what he does. He likes to get in one spot, and he just continues to stay in that one spot. And you can see it here. He doesn't have a turn of foot. That's okay. It can be effective here today with Tyler Gaffleone, who almost walked the dog in the one of the races yesterday. I think it was the 1.5 mile race where the fractions were so slow early on in the card. So look for him to try to do that same sort of thing. And I think that the drop in class is going to be a big plus for Conviction Trade as well. And then the 2 and the 5 underneath, Baker's Bay getting another shot off of a decent effort. And then Ocean Atlantique adding blinkers here for Brendan Walsh. Brendan's due a win here this meet.
Yeah, let's get Brendan in the winner's circle.
He's one of those guys. He's easy to root for. So in race number 7, 7, 2, and 5, as you'll take us back to race number 5 for your next key race.
Race 5, a first-level allowance event, 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf course, and the 5, Crew Dragon, is your 5-2 morning line favorite for trainer Bill Mott, who sends out 2 horses in here. Luis Saez does get the mount on the 5, Crew Dragon, but maybe a little lost in the race will be the 8, Floriform, towards the outside. He's coming in off of a freshening, and he did recently win his break his maiden against Maiden Special Weight Company, but his race 2 starts back, in which he lost, I think was more impressive than the race that he won. So we'll show you this race 2 back at Gulfstream Park when he finished second, beaten a half length. We can see him kind of trying to make up ground, not really being able to, but he just keeps on trying. Now, the winner of the race is Win from Within. Win from Within would come back to run in the Columbia Stakes at Tampa and win. And then also in this race, Crew Dragon. Crew Dragon's the morning line favorite. He beat him fair and square by multiple lengths, 8 lengths to be specific. So I just think that this horse is a much better horse than the other one of Bill Mott's, and he'll be the top selection for me. I also will use the number 1 and Cellist. This horse ran a fast race last time out. Looks like an up-and-comer for Rusty Arnold. And then the number 6, Donegal Bay. Uncle Mo, this horse just needs to improve for Todd Pletcher on the turf, but he might do that. I think they're kind of running out of options with him, though.
Let's go to the Clocker reports. We'll go early and late. Race number 2, headline report, fast in a gate work, best of the morning despite easing up at the finish. So the 3 in race number 2, and then the number 9 in race 8, Buffalo Shuffle, very strong work pattern. Top jockey gets Lasix, trainer 27% with this move. So race 2, the 3, race 8, the 9. Let's go on to our late pick 4 analysis. Great sequence. I think that this is a sequence, Gabby, that investing maybe a little bit more money than you normally do would be recommended with the depth of these fields.
Yes, but I'm still going to keep the ticket on the cheaper side. You add where you see fit. Race 7, an allowance race, a mile and 3/16 on the turf, just using 2 horses, the 7 Conviction Trade and the 8 Battalion. I could have even singled the 7 Conviction Trade. I just really like him in here. Had a weird trip last time out against the right field today, and I think could be the pace of the race. Race 8, using several horses, the 5, 9, 10, and 11. I thought that race was really tough. 3-year-olds maiden special weight. The 9th race, 4, 6, 8. That's the grade 3 Bewitch. I like the 4 Dominga, the 6 California Cream for Chad Brown, and then the favorite, the 8 Warlike Goddess. And then we get to the final race, 2, 5, 6. For me, I do prefer the 5 Title Shot on the drop-in class for Wayne Catalano.
I'm going to spend some money today, invest some money rather, and go 3 deep in the first leg, 2, 5, and 7. The top 3 selections that I like there. I'll add one in race number 8. The number 7 horse would be the additional horse from my top 3 selections. That's Anamia with a colt by Not This Time, who's had some very fast workouts here at Keeneland. As far as the Bewitch Stakes, 5 deep, I could go 6 deep, I could go 7 deep. I mean, it's just that kind of a race. But I'll use 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the Bewitch, and then round things out with 2 horses in the nightcap, just the 5 and the 6. If you want one more in there, maybe the Zito, Gelding, Jedrick, but I think that might be a bit of a stretch here today, or Kenny McPeak's runner, Texas Playboy, who takes the drop down in class from his lone start at Del Mar. So a $60 investment in the late pick 4. If you're right, it's going to be good, because I just don't see any short price favorites. I think we've got middle type price horses that are going to win. So and those are the types of payoffs that it could pay off $1,000. I mean, he easily could be $1,000 payoff today with these final 4 races of the card.
I agree, Scott, because I don't think any favorites within the sequence are going to be too short of a price. I mean, we've seen that over the course of the past couple of racing cards, but I don't see that in the late pick 4, pick 5 today, so it will be a fun one. It's now time for our best angles of the day, and I'm going to take us back to the early part of the card. This is race 3, 5.5 furlongs on the turf, a maiden special weight event. Scott, you did touch on this race, especially with the scratch of 3, Mr. Annoying. And the 7 after 5, of course, you have to respect this Wesley horse, but you don't need me to stand up here and tell you to bet Wesley Ward. So we'll find an alternative with the 5, Wild for Wycliffe, will be my best angle here for trainer Tom Amos. We'll show you his race 2 back. Now, I know this was on the dirt, but keep in mind, watching this race and just seeing this horse's speed, his first race was extremely fast. He got an 82 Beyer speed figure, came back against Maiden Special Weight Company in this race from post 8. He cleared the field, managed to go on the lead, and then just simply could not hang to the finish with that long stretch run at the fairgrounds. The key to him, I don't think necessarily is surface, it's distance, Scott. He's not going to win at 3/4. So the cut back in distance at 5.5, the fact that he's probably going to be the fastest early, I like all those angles. And on top of that, Tom Amos going from dirt to turf with his sprinters, 19% a positive ROI of $2.51. So it's a strong move for the barn as well. So my ticket is going to be 5, 7, 10, trifecta box. I think I did have a scratch of the 3 in there. So maybe just throw one more horse in there and do a little trifecta box if you so choose. But I do like that horse in the race.
I like the later half of the card so much that I'm going to go back to race number 8 for my best angle, and really wanted to talk about this race. 3-year-old maidens going 6.5 furlongs. You can see a couple of scratches. Sibyllis is the morning line favorite at odds of 7-2. But I like the 10 horse in here quite a bit. This is a first-time starter for Rusty Arnold, a colt by Bayern, look at these workouts. I first of all need to figure out where MRX is. Do you have any idea where MRX is? Okay, I didn't think so, but we'll look up where that training center is. This horse worked 46 and 4, 46 and 3. First workout here at Keeneland was 48 flat, and then worked a minute flat. He debuts here today for Susan and Jim Hill. They purchased this colt in 2019 at the Keeneland September sale for $200,000. He's a half-brother to 4 other winners from that first dam. She's 4 for 5 as far as her runners are concerned. I know Rusty, we look at these horses and say, all right, let's see and bet him second time out. But this one just may be so fast that it's not going to matter. And it's a tough race. This is a heck of a race here today. So I like Yearn for Victory. I'm playing the pick 3 that you can see there. I'll go 5 deep in here, even with this horse, but that's just the depth of this field.
You like him so much, you're going 5 deep.
It's this type of a race. I don't know anything
I had to
about
give you a
him.
hard time about something.
Do you have any word? You don't
It's
even know
the
where
last
MRX
day.
is? Yeah, it is.
I think, and MRX, I think, might be Margot Farm.
Okay.
Would that make sense?
That I believe does line up with the hills, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, but it's the type of race too. You know, you've got Casual Affair, the number 11 horse. He's a colt by Into Mischief out of the Hall of Famer Ashado, a Breeders' Cup winner, almost two-time Breeders' Cup winner. And the other horses in here, I mean, Suppressor, a first-time starter for Steve Asmussen. It's a great race here today, race number 8. So playing the pick 3, it's a $15 investment. I think the late pick 5 and the rolling pick 3s, the back half of the card, that's where you can spend some money and make some money here today at Keeneland. So I look forward to talking to Rusty and figuring out what's going on with this colt Yearn for Victory with these crazy fast. Have you ever seen a horse work 3 consecutive 46 and change workouts? Ever?
Not really, and definitely not for Rusty.
Yeah.
He's more conservative with the workouts.
So that's the attack on our best angles. Tom Leach, he'll swing for the fences in race number 9 with his long shot pick, English Affair, the number 11 horse in race number 9. English Affair is trained by Rusty Arnold, Calumet Farm, a daughter of their stallion English Channel, has run well on less than firm ground, finished first or second in 9 of 20 starts. Arnold's horses have performed well at this meet. So this horse is 20-1 on the morning line. Last win was a stakes win at a big price on Kentucky Downs Preview Day at Ellis Park back at the beginning of August. So he'll look to English Affair in race number 9. It's been a great meet, Gabby. Always a pleasure working with you. Can you give me some skin down low?
Likewise.
Let me pull this one
Well,
off.
you got to keep your
Down
hand
low. Okay,
a little bit more out of the frame. Yep, okay.
there you
Oh,
go.
no, I can't. I'm
Just do
not
it up high.
core.
Just do it up high. That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. For everybody here, thanks to our producer, Isaac Hickman. He did a fantastic job this meet. And Philip Richardson, his first meet at the helm of Director of Broadcasting. Philip, great meeting. Best team in broadcasting at a racetrack anywhere. I say that wholeheartedly. We thank you so much for joining us all these days on Today at Keeneland. And let's get some money on this closing day. Enjoy closing day. 10 race cards starting up off just past 1 o'clock Eastern Time.
The excitement of Kentucky Derby Week and the return of the Keeneland April Horses of Racing Age sale. Backed by a history of success, the 2021 April sale introduces a new integrated format featuring an enhanced all-digital catalog and the option to buy horses on site in the Keeneland sales ring or remote from anywhere in the world. The April Horses of Racing Age sale, Monday, April 26th.
Start your journey in a new Toyota. Where you end up is up to you. With 14 different all-wheel drive Toyotas to choose from, the possibilities are endless. Head to the trails in a Prius. Find a fishing hole with RAV4. Just have fun in a Tacoma. Hit the slopes in the family-size Highlander. Or get a grip on the road in the all-wheel drive Camry. All come with the traction you need for confident driving. Any road, any weather. Your adventure, your Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keeneland Racecourse. At this time, we ask that you would please rise in tribute to our national anthem. Keeneland is proud to recognize Max Jackson from Dining as the Employee of the Day. Congratulations, Max.
In the event of an emergency, Keeneland is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all locations in the Keeneland Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of guest services and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Patrons in the corporate boxes, Eclipse Room, and Phoenix Room should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the Lafayette Room, Keeneland Room, Lexington Room, and Kentucky Room should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the third floor main clubhouse and clubhouse paddock dining rooms should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the Bluegrass Room and third floor ITW area should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the Finish Line Room and Green Room should exit using the stairway leading to the North Terrace. Proceed down the stairs to the second level and through the doors outside. Proceed down the stairs to the ground level and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the outside reserved grandstand seats and boxes should proceed down the nearest stairway to the ground level. Proceed under the grandstand towards the paddock area and exit via the nearest point of exit, the South Gate or the East Gate. Patrons in the second floor main clubhouse dining room and Life Members Room should exit using the stairway on the south side of the administrative offices. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the South Gate. Patrons in the second floor clubhouse paddock dining room and clubhouse tavern should exit using the stairway located near Elevator A. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and veer right to exit through the lower club entrance. Patrons in the mezzanine bar and second floor ITW area should exit using the stairway located near Elevator B. Proceed down the stairs to the ground floor and exit through the paddock area using the East Gate. Patrons in the sports bar and cantina should exit through the doors leading to the North Terrace. Proceed down the stairs to the ground level and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the lower club, clubhouse lawn, club lobby, and director's room should proceed toward the clubhouse parking lot using the nearest point of exit. Patrons in the gift shop should proceed toward the South Gate using the nearest point of exit. Patrons in the apron area should proceed under the grandstand towards the paddock area and exit via the nearest point of exit, the South Gate or the East Gate. Patrons in the equestrian room and first floor Brats and Brew should proceed towards the North Terrace and exit through the North Gate. Patrons in the paddock area and North Terrace should proceed toward the nearest point of exit, the South Gate, East Gate, or North Gate. After evacuating the facility, please remain calm and follow the direction of guest services and security personnel in the safest route to return to your vehicle. Thank you for your attention and cooperation.
They are at the post. And they're off. Rock Along is quick into stride, but so is Rithen. Rithen moves up from the inside, has the lead. Rock Along goes second. You So Money Baby away running third. Artos is fourth between horses. Promptly Done is in the fifth position. And there's Pammy's Ready moving out in the center of the course. 2 spots from seventh up into fifth as they head for the turn. Diva Dixie is going to be wide in the 8th spot, running 10 lengths off the lead into the turn. Baytown Lila shuffled back down toward the inside, then further back. It is 3 Point Coos who runs next to last, 21.91 seconds for the opening quarter, and Miss Chamita is last of the 10. Rithen, the leader around the turn. Rithen on a 3-length lead. Rock Along is second by 4 lengths. You So Money Baby, third a half length. Artos in fourth. Pammy's Ready is fifth, nearly a dozen lengths off the lead of Rithen, and Rithen is coming toward the 8th pole. Rithen with a 6-length lead. Rock Along second. You So Money Baby third toward the inside. Artos in fourth. Pammy's Ready still far back in fifth. Rithen in front by 8 lengths in the final 16th here. Artos and You So Money Baby, and also Pammy's Ready going at it for the second spot. Miss Chamita runs late toward the rail, no catching Rithen. Rithen wins it convincingly for Joel Rosario. Artos was across the line in second. It'll be close for third. You So Money Baby or Pammy's Ready. And then behind that, others in contention as well in that multiple horse photo for that final swan, the Green Lantern, number 1, Rithen. Owned by the Stone Street Stables, LLC of Barbara Banke, trained by Wesley Ward, Joel Rosario, the jockey. Rithen, a 2-year-old filly by Ribchester out of Salenka by Selkirk, bred in Great Britain. They are at the post. And they're off. There's extra effort from the outside. That one bounds right into stride. Vamba going to go with her. Vamba, extra effort to contest the top spot. They will be joined by Shio Shi, who moves up down to the inside, close third, just a length off the early leader. Vamba has the lead. Vamba gets over next to the rail, leads it by 3/4 of a length. Extra effort goes second by the same margin. Then Shio Shi, who travels in third by a length through the far turn. Field Daisy fourth, break of just over 3 more lengths back to Irv's Winch, who is last, 22.37 seconds the time for the opening quarter. It is Vamba in front, a length and a half around the far turn. Now here's Shio Shi challenging extra effort for second. They move up together to the outside to try to get alongside of Vamba, who still leads it by a half length. But Shio Shi is there between horses. Extra effort moves up on the far outside. 3 line up across the track to contest the lead. Extra effort far outside now, putting ahead in front. Vamba is second, but fighting back to the inside. Field Daisy tries to pick up the leaders. You still got Shio Shi battling on down toward the inside. Here comes Irv's Winch. 5 across the racetrack. Field Daisy running to the front. Irv's Winch is running on late to her outside. Field Daisy and Irv's Winch. Irv's Winch gets up by a neck on the line over Field Daisy.
She didn't show much speed today, but boy, did she show some finish once Joe Rocco Jr. got her.
Keeneland's second race, 1 Irv's Winch. Owned by Irv Woolsey and Ralph Kinder, trained by Michael Tomlinson. Joe Rocco Jr. is the jockey. Irv's Winch, a 4-year-old filly by Race Day, out of Cecil by 4. And they're off. Golden Bell, very quick into stride. Golden Bell, wasting no time, goes right out for the early lead. Marlin Key comes away in the second position. Cartel Queen is away running in third, but now beginning to catch up to those top 2 around the far turn. Then a break of 5 more lengths back to Baytown Valley Girl, who is last. Golden Bell, Cartel Queen now drawing alongside. That's the battle for the lead around the far turn. They're separated by a neck. They've opened up by 4 lengths back to Marlin Key. Gap of 4 more back of that one. Baytown Valley Girl in fourth. Golden Bell chased by Cartel Queen into the stretch. Golden Bell leads it by a length and a half. Cartel Queen is second. Now 2 lengths between the top 2. Golden Bell kicking on in the final furlong as Cartel Queen is in second. And further back, Marlin Key, followed by Baytown Valley Girl. No catching Golden Bell. John Velasquez aboard. Golden Bell to win it. Cartel Queen was second. It'll be Baytown Valley Girl third, and then Marlin Key.
Yet another 2-year-old winner for Wesley Ward this meet, and a second on this afternoon. as he took the
third race, the Headley. 7, Golden Bell, owned by Hat Creek Racing, owned also by Cheyenne. They are at the post. And they're off. There goes Candy Flower. Candy Flower right out for the lead. Tassamu is away running in second. Ya Beauty third. And Sursum Corda away running fourth up on the outside. Jazzy Lady up close, 1 lane off the rail at fifth. Now fourth, and now challenging for third, and now for second as they head onto that far turn. Awkward move there for Talking Book. Got caught down toward the inside of horses. Had to check briefly. Lost a length or so, but now settles down in between horses. A lane off the rail. Got first course there to the outside. And room for Tootsie to move up closer from last down toward the inside. After all that, the opening quarter is up on the board 27.01 seconds. Candy Flower, the leader. Candy Flower shows the way here early, leads it by a length. And then Jazzy Lady is second, followed closely by Tassamu. Tassamu third to the inside. Sursum Corda fourth up on the outside. Ya Beauty between horses is in fifth with 1 circuit to go. First course stays toward the outside. Got Tootsie at the back toward the rail, and Talking Book in between that pair at the back. 53.5 seconds was the time for the first half mile. Candy Flower is the leader. Candy Flower on top by a length and a half. Jazzy Lady continues to travel in second toward the outside, and then Tassamu. And Tassamu stays toward the rail in third, just a length and a half off the lead. Sursum Corda is just off her flank in the fourth position. Talking Book has moved up a couple of positions, now shifting lanes toward the center of the course, up into fifth, 5 lengths from the front. Tootsie against the rail sixth, first course seventh, and Ya Beauty is shuffled out to last. 6 furlongs, 1 minute 20.19 seconds. Up the backstretch they go. Candy Flower continues to show the way. Candy Flower in front by almost a full length. Jazzy Lady is second by 3/4 of a length. Sursum Corda third. Tassamu fourth, down toward the inside, still within 2 lengths of the lead as they head for the far turn. Talking Book is fifth on her outside. First course, Ya Beauty, and Tootsie now last as they enter the final of 3 turns. And Candy Flower still the leader. Candy Flower leads at a length and a half. Jazzy Lady second by a neck. Sursum Corda third on the outside. And Talking Book is fourth toward the outside. Still 3.5 to 4 lengths off the lead with Tassamu against the rail to her inside. Then first course and Ya Beauty, Tootsie last quarter mile to come. Candy Flower is the leader. And Candy Flower, who has controlled the tempo since the start, opens up by 3 lengths coming to the 8th pole. Sursum Corda second. Tassamu third. Jazzy Lady is in fourth. Ya Beauty in fifth. And first course running late from sixth. Candy Flower in front by 3. First course is running on, and so is Tassamu, trying to catch Candy Flower. Tassamu first course. Look at first course striding forward. First course to win it by a neck on the line. It was Candy Flower home second and Tassamu third.
The 4 Candy Flower slowed it down as much as you
Winner circle for Keeneland's fourth race, the Greenfield Farm. 8 first course. G. Watts Humphrey Jr., the owner, Victoria Oliver, the trainer, Raphael Bay. And they're off. There goes Blue Steel. Blue Steel out running for the lead from the outside. Has company, though. Till Then and Subdued move up down to the inside. There goes Till Then up the rail for the lead. Till Then to the front. Blue Steel up on the outside goes second. Subdued backs away from that pair. Stays a bit wide off the rail. Opens up a couple of lanes to his left into the first turn. And settles back into third position. 3.5 lengths off the early lead. Followed closely by Congrats This on the outside and fourth head. There goes Trace Eckes moving up fifth into fourth with a ground-saving trip around that first turn. Valley Cove, Zanesville, and Forecastle at the back. It was 24.28 seconds, the time for that opening quarter. Blue Steel, the leader. Blue Steel in front, leads it by just over 2 lengths. And Till Then is second by 3/4 of a length. Subdued third, a half length on the outside. Room at the rail for Trace Eckes, who moves up a closer fourth, now to challenge for third and also for the second spot. Congrats This stays out in the center of the track in fifth. Valley Cove sixth between horses. Zanesville is seventh against the rail. And Zanesville moves up the inside, but is still 4.5 to 5 lengths off the lead. Further back, Forecastle trails. 48.56 seconds for the opening half mile. Blue Steel is the leader midway on the far turn. Leads Subdued a length and a half. Trace Eckes to the inside is in third, 2 lengths off the lead. And then Valley Cove is fourth at the quarter pole and looking for some running room, starts to change lanes, moves up toward the outside, still 4 lengths from the front. Congrats this, then Zanesville. Zanesville's toward the inside, 7 lengths off the lead into the short stretch, and Blue Steel has opened up on a 5-length margin. Valley Cove is second, Trace Eckes is third, Zanesville is fourth toward the rail, then Subdued is fifth. Blue Steel, final 16th, a 3-length lead. Valley Cove runs on toward second. Blue Steel in front at the wire. Blue Steel, Miguel Mena to win it. Valley Cove was up for second, a neck over Trace Eckes across the line in third, followed by Zanesville and Subdued.
He was sharp today. He broke away from the starting gate, got right to the lead with Miguel Mena, and had enough left in the end to spurt away from him as he turns for home with a 3-length advantage. Blue Steel strong today, picking up his first win at Keeneland.
As the trainer Jeff
For Keeneland's 5th race, 8 Blue Steel, owned by James Woodruff, trained by Jeff Hiles. Miguel Mena, the jockey. Blue They are at the post. And they're off. And there goes Gamblin' Train down toward the inside out for the lead, along with Family Way. Valletta from between horses, and Vitesh moves up from the outside as well in the opening strides. Miss Imperfection going to be right there in the center of the course as they head for the first turn. Family Way and Valletta contesting the lead. Naomi Broadway between horses, along with Gamblin' Train. These 4 in a line as they head past the wire for the first time. And it will be Naomi Broadway for Alex Ashard, who comes out of that 4-way shuffle and gets the lead by a length and a half as starts to angle toward the rail. Family Way is second, Gamblin' Train third. Valletta moves up 2 spots, fourth into second, a length off the lead, but 3 wide around the first turn. And then Vitesh is fifth between horses. Miss Imperfection sixth on her outside. Queen Bridget moves up 1 spot from seventh against the rail. Further back, Tweety Show is eighth between horses. Niseno, ninth out in the center of the course. How Ironic is 10th against the rail. Curly Ruth is 11th up the back stretch. Loving Moment last of the 12. It was 24.66 for the opening quarter. 49.82 seconds for the opening half mile. Naomi Broadway, the leader. Naomi Broadway against the rail leads at 3/4 of a length. Valletta is right there and beginning to draw alongside the leader. A neck separates the top 2 into the far turn. Family Way against the rail is third by just a head. And then comes Gamblin' Train, who's fourth up on the outside. A gap of 2 more lengths to Vitesh. Miss Imperfection caught wide. Queen Bridget against the rail is 5 from the lead. Here is Valletta from the outside, putting a head in front. Naomi Broadway fights right back, though. And Family Way looking for running room at the quarter pole as they turn for home. Behind that pair, she's third. And now changing lanes toward the far outside. Naomi Broadway and Valletta going at it for the lead. Family Way is third, Vitesh fourth. How Ironic is running late, and How Ironic is closing ground on the far outside, but has to catch Valletta. Family Way between that pair. How Ironic just keeps on coming after Valletta. Family Way between that pair is right there as well. How Ironic.